Hello and welcome to the Spargur Yarn Co podcast channel. My name is Spargur. I am your host. I am coming to you from Henderson, Nevada, where I live with my two dogs, Princess and Duchess, my roommate Delilah, and her dog Duke, who is very much trying to play right now because he doesn't understand personal space. Shoo. If you're a new viewer, I'm sorry. If you're a new viewer, thank you for joining me and finding my channel. This is a really fun thing that I just love to podcast. It's probably one of my favorite parts of my week or month, depending on how often I'm able to get a video up. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. If you are looking for any of my other places where you can follow me, you can find all of that in the video description box below. I'm not going to go through all those because there's a lot. But you can find everything about me and my Instagram or my Facebook or whatever. And then you can also find everything from my dyeing company, which is Spargur Yarn Co. You can find all of that in the video description box below. And later in the podcast, I will show you some of the things that are coming up on a very, very... what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to be a shop update that's coming up very, very soon. So I am going to show that later in the podcast. If you are somebody who likes to jump around, there are timestamps in the video description box as well, so you can jump to the things you're interested in. And I do life updates at the end. So if you're not somebody who stays for life updates or wants to hear about my personal life, you can leave after all the yarny stuff is over. So I actually have kind of a shorter podcast for you today because I really don't have that much to show. I'm just working on a lot of the same things that I've been working on, but I am going to show you the progress that I've made. So let's go ahead and get on with the show and start with our works in progress. So I have 3 things I'm working on that I want to show you today. A couple of these you've seen. Actually, no, I think only one of these you've seen before. But we're going to start with something that I just started recently. And there's no pattern for this. What's the right side here? So this is the right side. It's this will flatten out when it blocks. But no pattern. It is that kind of Andrea Mowry shape that everybody's really into right now. The find your fade shape, I think, is what it is. Anyway, there's a lot of people who are doing this shape to where you increase evenly on both sides, and then at one point you'll stop increasing on this side, and you'll increase on this side, and everything shifts, and it creates a triangle. I've done a shape like this before. Previously, I did the Make Your Own Luck Shawl by Lisa Ross. This is the same shape, but it's my own pattern. I'm just doing kind of my own thing. So I've got places of garter stitch, and then in some of these more flat sections, there's this kind of mosaic stitch, which is not going to show up very well on camera, but I am going to show more pictures of it on my Instagram. So if you're interested in seeing kind of what the mosaic pattern looks like, definitely hop over to my Instagram or my Facebook. There's a Facebook group for this as well. So you can hop over to the Facebook and see the anything from my Instagram goes to the Facebook. I have it linked so that the same posts go there. So if you don't have Instagram, you can see it on Facebook. But I'll post some better close-ups of what this mosaic section looks like. But I'm doing it in both the variegated yarn and this more solid colored yarn. So the variegated here is actually Echoes of the Mojave by Spargur Yarn Co, my dyeing company. So this is my own hand-dyed. And then this blue is one of the knit crate yarns that I got last year, I think. And it's a single ply 100% merino fingering weight. And it's actually very interesting to see how like a 4-ply fingering versus a single-ply fingering knit up next to each other. It's really kind of cool. The single-ply merino is very bouncy and airy, whereas the 4-ply, which is an 8515 superwash merino nylon, it's very dense. So it's really interesting to see how those two things work with each other. I'm going to do... Well, I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do with the colors here, so I'm doing these in like 10, well, they're like 20 row sections, but like 10 sets of back and forth. So the tip had 4 sections, the blue had 3, I think I'm going to do 2 in the variegated, so it'll be 4, 3, 2, and then that'll have about 100 stitches on either side of the center stitch, and so then I'll start the second section where you only increase on one side. And I think I'm going to continue into one section in one color and then slowly like half a section in one and the other half in the other until it kind of just like fades itself in until it's until I end. The other thing is though, I'm doing this in basically leftovers. I did not have 100 grams of either skein of this, so if I run out of both of those, which I'm almost positive that I will, I have some leftover merino cashmere nylon from Leading Men Fiber Arts in the copper, oh goodness, what is the name of this? I forgot, but I knit a shawl in this, I designed a shawl for them in this yarn and colorway last year for Stitches SoCal, and now I cannot remember the name. Sorry about that. The color, the garbage men are here, so yay. I cannot remember what the colorway name of this, copper something. Duke, please, stop. Anytime he hears something that is not like voices, well, if he hears voices outside, he'll bark, but if he hears anything moving outside, he will bark. It's getting, we don't know why he started doing this all of a sudden. This isn't how he was when they moved in. So he's just suddenly gotten so much anxiety, and we thought maybe leaving him out during the day instead of keeping him locked up in Delilah's room might help. He'll get more used to the sounds, and it's just getting worse. So if he barks, I'm so sorry. The second work in progress I have, that is being worked on US 5s. I don't even remember if I finished my thought before he started barking. Anyway, US 5 needles is what that's being made on. The second work in progress right now is my second crochet sweater. You guys remember the first one. I just pulled that out. Hold on. We gotta save a stitch here. It didn't completely pull out, it just almost did. No! I don't want to have to fix you later. Okay. I should really put stitch markers in my loops. So you saw you guys will remember the first one, and if you don't, it's on my Instagram as well. The first one was just kind of made in a bunch of leftover yarns. I was just trying some stuff out, and yeah, so when I realized that it worked, I just took the numbers, and I made a couple of modifications, but I am done with the body. And we are now working on sleeve number 1. And this is all done in loops and threads, endless impeccable. You'll know that I'm also working on a cloak with, basically, I'm working on a cloak. When I finished with one color, I started using that color for the sweater. So I'm kind of doing them at the same time, except for the black. I realized that I don't get left with a lot of yarn when I finish the section that I need to finish on the cloak. And with the cloak, I can substitute in a different black yarn for whatever I need to do, because I'm not going to be really too worried about the blacks matching. But I did need it to match on the sweater. So I'm going ahead, I think I'm going to finish the sweater first just so I can have it done. Now, I did this top-down, very similar to how you do a top-down raglan, and also if you want the back raised. So I did... I know how many stitches I need for my neck, which is 52. And then I did the math to figure out how many I wanted to be in between the increases and how many that would leave for the front and back. Anyway, I did all the math, and I just did increasing on each side for about 4 rows until I had built up the back, and then I finally just did some foundation half double crochets back to all the way across. And now I'm working this instead of working it in the round, which I am working it in the round, but I go one direction and then I go the other direction so that the seam does not keep shifting in a diagonal. So I'm going this way and then this way and then this way. So I'm going back and forth to prevent the seam from being weird. And the seam is, actually it's pretty well hidden, but it's right there. Actually, yeah, it's really well hidden. I actually really like that technique for crocheting sweaters, going back and forth instead of just going in the round. So this is all done in half double. I'm working on the left sleeve, then I'll work on the right sleeve. I did the collar of the body last. I did that, I just picked up stitches and I did 4 or 5 rows for the ribbing in black. And then I finish all of my ribbing off with a row of single crochet just to give it a nice clean edge. This is being worked on a 5.5mm hook. My hook is from Furls Crochet. I really like their streamline hooks. They're a resin. They're very, very nice, very ergonomic. I really love working with those. So that's what that's being worked on. the last work in progress I'm going to show very quickly, and that is the cloak. I promised you guys I would show this to you when I started the last color. So there's the black. I've started the black. It's too big to put on and show you right now. I've done about 3 rows. This is all in double crochet using a 5.5mm hook, and all done in loops and threads, endless impeccable. That's 100% acrylic yarn. This actually has already been washed once because I think one of my dogs got sick one night and threw up over the edge of the sofa into the basket where this was being kept, and I found it when I pulled it out to work on, so it has been through the wash once. So I have to tell you, trying to crochet onto a piece that has already gone through the washer once is really weird, and I don't like it, but I have to in order to finish it. So that's a weird thing that I'm having to deal with right now, is crocheting onto something that's already been blocked. So yeah, I'm only showing that as quick as I am because you can't really get the full view of it until it's done, so I will take pictures of that. Anyway, I don't have any finished objects, so we are just going to move into some other yarny related things, and then we have a giveaway and then some life updates, so we'll just move right on along to that. So real quick, I just want to show you guys what's coming in the Spargur Yarn Co. shop update for November 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's Saturday, November 9th, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's the West Coast time. Just want to show you what I've got coming. If you follow me on Instagram on either my personal account or my business account, you'll know I've been working to try and find kind of the perfect representation of the Aurora Borealis, otherwise known as the Northern Lights. And I had a couple of different colorways that came out of it, and a couple of basically one-of-a-kinds that were close, but if I decide to do anything with what those turned out to be, then there'll be a different something or other. But I kind of settled on 2 colorways that I really liked, and I did have a few people vote on it. So with that being said, I have 2 colorways. They're going to have different names, but they basically mean the same thing, but they're 2 very distinct looks. So the first one, this is what everyone kind of considered to be Northern Lights. Pink, kind of a bright green, the dark navy for the sky. This is what everyone kind of was seeing. There, while it's skeined up, it's a little harder to see. There's some flecks of red in there. The green is very tonal. It's a very beautiful skein of yarn. But this is kind of what everybody voted for when they said, when I think of Northern Lights. And I love this, but this isn't really what I was going for. It's very beautiful. I do love it. And I do plan to kind of tweak it maybe again in the future just to get a little bit more play with the color. But this isn't exactly what I was going for. So I am going to call this Northern Lights. But this one, well, maybe. This one is what I was going for. This is called Aurora Borealis, which most of you will know is the scientific name for the Northern Lights. So I have this colorway, which is just pink and mint green and some beautiful deep navies, but it's all layered and there's some speckles in here and the colors kind of blend to make some purples in here. It's just a very, very gorgeous, gorgeous skein of yarn. It's exactly what I was picturing when I was trying to come up with a colorway for the Northern Lights / Aurora Borealis. This is exactly what I wanted. This is so beautiful. I'm actually dyeing more of it right now as we speak. The dye pots are on in the backyard right now as we speak, dyeing up more of this colorway because it is so, so, so pretty. I will have both of those colorways on fingering weight, DK, and worsted, and it will be in the dyed to order option on my website. If you're not familiar, on my website, SpargurYarn.com, there is a dyed to order option. So if something that you've been looking for is not in the shop, check the colorway gallery. There's a colorway gallery on the shop. Anything that is in the colorway gallery is up for grabs on the dyed to order quantity. Dyed to order quantities do require a 2 skein minimum for orders, but you can go from 2 to 10, and if you need to do it again, basically you'll submit the form, and then if you need any more than 10 of something, just submit a second form. Now, with Dyed to Order, it's not a pay up front thing. You submit the form for what you would like, and then I will send you an invoice to your email with the total cost of the order, and I won't start dyeing it until payment is received. So if you try to order something and then you decide that you don't want it, you can email me at sparguryarnco@gmail.com to cancel the order, because again, I will not start dyeing it until payment has been received. And the reason for that is just because I'm such a small batch dyer, I don't keep a lot of bare yarn on hand. I order it when I reach a certain threshold so that I can order a bunch at a time, and then I dye it, and then I sell it, and I wait until I've got enough money again to do another order of yarn. So with Dyed to Order, because I'm not keeping a lot of it on hand, I can't start dyeing until I have the product. So I also will not start dyeing it until payment is received, because receiving payment is how I will order the bare yarn so that I can start your order. Anyway, so that is an option if you weren't familiar. You can find the link to the shop in the video description box below. But these two beautiful, beautiful skeins will be on the shop November 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can go to the shop and see that. And you can also see anything else that's still in stock. There are still a few in-stock items on the shop, so be sure to check those out as well. So that is going to lead us right into the giveaway portion. I know you are all excited about that because the giveaway is like the best part, because yay, free stuff. So we're going to jump right into that. So last week's giveaway prize, last podcast, it's been 3-4 weeks. So last time we were giving away this beautiful skein of Madeline Tosh in the Blinkin' Beacon colorway. This is 90% merino wool, 8% acrylic, 2% stellina, fingering weight 420 yards, single ply, gorgeous, gorgeous skein. Also, I was letting you know that Madeline Tosh did close her shop, so nobody was really sure what was going to be going on with that. Recently found out that Jimmy Beans bought Madeline Tosh, so Madeline Tosh will be available again in the future, but Jimmy Beans has purchased Madeline Tosh. There's going to be a transition period, at which point, after Madeline has taught everyone how to dye all the colorways at Jimmy Beans, she will then no longer, she's going to be on with Jimmy Beans through a transitionary period, and then she will leave. There's a few reasons, there's a little bit of speculation as to why she decided to close. I'm not going to comment on any of those. You can find those in conversations throughout the community. I'm not going to comment on them because I don't have any idea which one is true. There's just a lot of speculation. So if you know something more, then great. I only have second and third hand information. So if you want to know any more information on that, just check throughout the community. Somebody probably knows more than I do. Anyway, because of that, this is what we're giving away. And that winner is, turn the page, Tracy Roberts. Tracy Roberts, I will put that down here for you so you can see the spelling. Tracy Roberts, you are the winner of this beautiful skein of Madeline Tosh yarn. So congratulations. Please send me an email at sparguryarnco@gmail.com with your mailing address so I can get this out to you as soon as possible. Congratulations again, Tracy. Woo! Okay. So that means we have more to give away. And by the way, most of my giveaways are stash diving. There's a lot of things that I buy, and I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. And then I'm just like, oh, it's really pretty, but it's really not my color. Or sometimes I get things and then I just decide that I've used that fiber before and I don't want to. So with that, the next prize, I think I keep going out of the frame a little bit. Am I blurry, y'all? Hold on. We're going to see if we can fix that. Okay, I should be back in focus. Again, this camera doesn't autofocus, and it's really annoying. It's an entry-level DSLR, and I love it, but I am looking already to upgrade. Anyway, okay, so now we're going to give away 2 skeins of this beautiful Cascade Yarns Ultra Pima cotton. I don't like cotton yarn. I really hate cotton yarn. I hate using it. It's not forgiving. I just really hate cotton. It has its uses. I think it's beautiful. I think it can be made into a lot of gorgeous things. It's great for heat-resistant things. So if you want to, you use cotton for things like in your kitchen, or, sometimes for summer garments, great. I hate working with it. And so I was stash diving and realized I still had some cotton that I actually hadn't otherwise donated or given away. So this is from Cascade Yarns Ultra Pima. It is 100 grams, 220 yards, and there are 2 skeins of that. I'm going to give away 2 skeins because they are both the same colorway, and they're just a really nice brown, pretty neutral color. Can pretty much work for just about anybody's wardrobe. So I'm going to give away the 2 skeins of this to one person. So if you would like to win this, please tell me in the video description box below what your Thanksgiving plans are. I don't have any Thanksgiving plans. I'm going home for Christmas, and I can only go home for one holiday. So I'm going home for Christmas, not for Thanksgiving, so I will be here. I will probably find something. I will probably make like a pot roast for myself that day and sit on the sofa and watch all 8 Harry Potter movies, or maybe all 3 Lord of the Rings or something. I'll find a movie marathon. I will find something that I enjoy watching, that I know that I can just sit and maybe knit or crochet. Might do some yarn dyeing that day. I don't know. I think because I'm gonna do some Black Friday stuff. So that's probably how my Thanksgiving is going to go. Those are my plans. So what are your Thanksgiving plans? And on the next podcast, we will draw for a winner. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put in my life updates now, because I don't have a lot of them. So if you are not here for the life updates, if you don't really want to hear about my personal life, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you liked my video. That really does help me out. The YouTube algorithm does actually check for those things, so likes and subscribes do help me. And so yeah, let's do a little bit on the life updates. Recently, Lee came back for his birthday. He was here for about 5 days. We had a good time. It was nice to see him now that he's living in Maryland for work. And it was nice. He did leave his Apple Watch here. He has a He has a habit of, he'll come with things, he'll pack to leave, swears up and down he has everything, and then I'll clean up a day later and find like 5 or 6 different items that he forgot to take back, and usually one of them is expensive. So I'll be shipping some of those things back to him, because yeah, that happens. Princess is doing much better after her teeth extraction thing, so she still will not eat hard food. I tried for about a week and a half to get her to eat hard food, and she is stubborn. She went a week and a half without eating, and I just got scared at that point and decided to go back to her soft food. So now she's eating, she's healthy, she's happy, she's not in pain, her breath is so much better. She can give me kisses again, yay! So yeah, she's doing so much better after that vet visit. I'm very thankful to my mom for helping me fund that, because otherwise I don't know what I would have done. But yes, she's doing so much better, so much better. Vegas has gone through a freeze. That was interesting. We hit the 30-degree mark this week, which was intense for Vegas, especially in October. Now, we're going back to kind of normal temperatures for the fall, but yeah, with the Santa Ana winds coming in and out of California and just everything weather-wise happening over here on the West Coast, it was very odd for us to be that cold that early. So that was definitely interesting, but the benefit was that I got to wear all of my hand knits. I got to wear hats, I got to wear sweaters, scarves, shawls, I got to wear all of it. My socks, I've been wearing my socks around the house. So it was perfect hand knit weather. I loved it. I took advantage of every second of it. So yeah, that was awesome. Looking forward, I am going to be going to Stitches SoCal in 2 weekends, so I'm very excited about that. If you're going to be at Stitches SoCal, please find me. Please come see me. I would love to meet you. I'm very excited to be going back to the, it's the 2nd year they'll have Stitches SoCal, and then I am planning on going to Stitches West if I can get some people to go with me, Izzy and Rafa. So I do plan on doing that. I'm very excited about those upcoming things, and then from December 23rd through December 30th, I will be back home in Kentucky with my family celebrating the holidays. I'm so excited to be able to see all the members of my family again. It has been a very long time. I'm hoping they're going to save family Christmas for the weekend that I come home, but they probably won't. They'll probably do it right before I'm able to come home, because they usually do it on a Saturday, and I'm not leaving until Monday. Does that sound right? Yeah, a Monday, so I'm not leaving until then. But I'm very excited for that as well. So, those are kind of the things going on in my life. I want to thank you all for joining me. If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. Those really do help me out. And share this video if you would like, and follow me on my social medias. Check out my website for my hand-dyed yarns. I also make project bags. I'm going to be making some holiday-themed project bags here very soon, so check that out as well. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to go and work on dyeing some more yarn, and I will see you all again very soon here on the Spargur Yarn Crafts podcast channel. Thank you so much. Bye.